Hello, we'll continue with The Merchant of Venice. We're in Act 2, Scene 5, and Shylock is calling to his daughter Jessica, and enter Jessica. Jessica says, "Call you, what is your will?" So she asks her father what he wants her to do. Shylock, I am bid forth to supper, Jessica. There are my keys, but wherefore should I go? I am not bid for love, they flatter me. But yet I'll go in hate to feed upon the prodigal Christian. So Shylock tells Jessica, his daughter, that he's been invited to a supper by Bassanio and Antonio and their friends. So he gives her the keys to the house, and then he debates within himself. He asks himself, wherefore should I go? Why should he go? They do not invite him for love or for affection. They are flattering him. So openly, outwardly, they seem to be friendly, but inwardly, they dislike him. They flatter him. So he knows that, he guesses that, and he says, "Yet I'll go in hate to feed upon the prodigal Christian." So he says that he will return their unfriendliness. He will go there in a negative frame of mind, and he'll feed upon the food that the prodigal Christian, that is Bassanio and Antonio, offer him. Prodigal means one who wastes his money, one who is not thrifty, one who is a spendthrift. So he thinks that Bassanio and Antonio are likely uh, to lose a lot of money. So then again he addresses Jessica, his daughter. He says, "Jessica, my girl, look to my house. I'm right loath to go. There is some ill a brewing towards my rest, for I did dream of money bags tonight." So he tells Jessica to look after his house, and he says that he is right loath to go. He doesn't want to go. He hates going to that dinner, and he thinks there's something unlucky, which is plotting against his rest, because last night he dreamt of money bags. So Lancelot says, "I beseech you, sir, go. My young master doth expect your reproach." So Lancelot begs Shylock to go to the dinner, and Lancelot is now in the service of Bassanio. So he says his young master Bassanio expects his reproach. Actually, Lancelot cannot pronounce the words properly. So when he meant to say he expects his approach, when Bassanio expects his approach, he says he expects your reproach. Reproach is scolding. Shylock, so do I his. And they have conspired together. I will not say you shall see a mask, but if you do, then it was not for nothing that my nose fell a bleeding on Black Monday last at 6 o'clock in the morning. Falling out that year on Ash Wednesday was 4 in the afternoon. So, uh, so he says that the fates and the times have conspired together. They have planned together to hold a mask. A mask is a party in which the people wear, disguises, and they sing and dance. And he says that he has had an omen. He predicted that this mask would take place because of a sign. His nose fell bleeding on Black Monday last. Black Monday is one of those festivals, and he gives another example of omen that this mask would be held. Shylock becomes Shylock is surprised, and he says, "What are the masks?" So he is a very sober and he's a very serious sort of person, and he asks if there's going to be a mask, if there's going to be a party, and immediately he addresses Jessica, and he uh, and he warns her. He says, "Hear you me, Jessica. Lock up my doors, and when you hear the drum and the wild squealing of the wry-necked fife, clamber you not up to the casements then, nor thrust your head into the public streets to gaze on Christian fools with varnished faces. But stop my house's ears, I mean my casements. Let not the sound of shallow foppery enter my sober house." So he says to Jessica to lock up the doors, and if she hears the drum playing in the street, because the people will be partying in the streets, and if she hears the squealing, that is the high pitched tone of the fife which has got a wry neck. The wry neck is just a thin neck, so it's probably a wind instrument. So they blow through this pipe and it makes a squealing, it makes a high pitched sound. And when Jessica hears that, Shylock tells her not to clamber up to the casement, not to rush to the topmost parts of the house, nor should she thrust her head into the public street to gaze on Christians' fools with varnished faces. So she should not witness this party going on in the streets. These Christians who are wearing, they're wearing makeup on their faces and partying. Shylock asks her to close all the windows to stop his house's ears. He means his casements. Casements are the topmost windows of house, and he tells her not to let the sound of shallow foppery, for shallow partying, enter his sober house. So his house is a very sober, a very serious sort of place where nothing is discussed except money and how to make it and how to save it and how to invest it. And there is absolutely no uh, thought of entertainment enter and in Shylock's house. So he calls his house a sober house, and he says, "By Jacob's staff, I swear I have no mind of feasting forth tonight, but I will go. Go you before me, Sarah, say I will come." So he swears upon the staff of Jacob. Jacob is a character in the Bible. He says he swears upon Jacob's staff that he has no wish to feast that night outside, but nevertheless he has to go. And he tells Lancelot to go before him and say to Bassanio that he will come. Lancelot, "I will go, sir." And so Lancelot says in an aside to Jessica, he gives her a secret message, and he says, "Mistress, look out at the window for all this. There will come a Christian by who will be worth a Jewess's eye." Exit. So he tells Jessica that she should look out of the window in spite of Shylock's instruction, and he says that there will come a Christian by that night. That is, Lorenzo will come by, who will be worth a Jewess's eye. So he'll be worthy of Jessica's eye. So he asks her to watch out for Lorenzo that night out of the window. He exits. Shylock overhears what Lancelot says to Jessica, but he cannot get what he says. So he says, "What says that fool of Hagar's offspring?" Huh? So Hagar is the devil. So he calls Lancelot the offspring or the child of the devil. And he asks Jessica what Lancelot said to her. Jessica says, "His words were, 'Farewell, mistress,' that is all." So Jessica doesn't let the cat out of the bag. She doesn't give, she doesn't tell Shylock what Lancelot told her. And she says his words were that he bid her goodbye, "Farewell, mistress," nothing else. Shylock, now he measures Lancelot. He says, "The patch is kind enough, but a huge feeder. Snails know in profit, and he sleeps by day more than the wildcat." So Shylock says that Lancelot is a patch. Patch is probably a dog, and he says the Lancelot is kind enough, but Lancelot is a huge feeder. He eats a lot, And whenever there's any work to be done, whenever there's any profit to be made, he is as slow as a snail in working. And Lancelot sleeps by day more than the wild cat. So just as the wild cat, the lion, or the tiger sleeps by day, Lancelot also sleeps by day. And he says, drones hive not with me. So he calls Lancelot a drone. A drone is a queen in a beehive, which all the other bees have to feed and look after. So he calls Lancelot a drone, and he says that drones will not live with him. Like a drone like Lancelot will not serve him any longer. Therefore, I part with him. So he says he parts with Lancelot and part with him to one that I would help him waste his borrowed purse. So he parts with Lancelot to Bassanio. He gives Lancelot to Bassanio, and Lancelot and Bassanio will waste their borrowed money. Says Shylock. Well, Jessica, go in. Perhaps I will return immediately. So Shylock leaves, and as he leaves, he asks Jessica to go in and say he'll perhaps return immediately. Do as I bid you, he says. Shut the doors after you. Fast bind, fast fight. A proverb never stale in thrifty mind. So he parts with a proverbial statement, fast bind, fast find. If you keep something bound or tied up fast, you will find it quickly. So he wishes that Jessica would lock up his doors and windows so that they will not miss anything. So he says such a proverb is never stale in thrifty mind. So in a thrifty mind, in the mind of a person who is uh, who is very concerned about his money, thrifty person, the proverb like fast bind, fast wind is never stale, no matter how many times it's repeated. He exits. Jessica, farewell. And if my fortune be not crossed, I have a father, you a daughter lost. So Jessica says, if she bids him a final goodbye, and she says, if the luck does not is not missed, she says that she has lost a father. She has lost a father, and Shylock has lost a daughter. At night, she exits.